Hey everybody, it's Brian Fleming here with my buddy Cole Evans, who runs my company. And a lot of people think that this is a mentality I was raised with that I don't really agree with anymore. A lot of people think that you should learn how to do everything yourself so that you don't have to pay anybody else to do it for you. You might think of like household chores, plumbing, to even your taxes or anything in your life. A lot of people have this mentality that they should just learn how to do it themselves so they don't have to pay anyone else. The only problem is that you run out of time. A lot of people think that they should do everything themselves, but the truth is that you become more productive and your life gets a lot better and a lot easier and a lot less stressful, and you'll find yourself not nearly as frustrated as much when you outsource your weaknesses or things you're not necessarily good at to people who are good at those things. I mean, it makes no sense for me to try and do my taxes anymore because I don't want to deal with that crap. I mean, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not an accountant, and I'm actually sitting here. What me and Cole are doing is we're planning out this next year, and the 4 or 5 programs we're rolling out with the company here that's going to help you grow personally and professionally, teach you how to use your story to make a difference in people's lives, even if you have no idea where to begin. Or maybe you're scared to death of the business side because you might not have a lot of experience and you think you're just going to go broke or lose a bunch of money, or how do I do that? How do I even set up a business? How do I, like all these things, you know what you want to do, but you just don't feel equipped to do them. Well, I'm a good ideas guy. I'm good at content creation. I can get ideas out and I write them on the things like at the back of napkins and junk mail, and I'll walk around with those in my pocket so I don't lose them, and that's how it works for me. Well, then Cole comes into the picture, and he actually makes it look amazing. And I'm not very good at making things look too amazing, but I know people who are good at making things organized and look amazing. Now, so that's one reason Cole is here. I mean, Cole, what are your thoughts on this philosophy of not doing it all yourself?
You really have to delegate. You have to decide, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Things that I'm good at and things that are my strengths, I'm going to do those. I'm going to go 100% at them. The things that I suck at, I need to pass those off. I need to give those to people who those are their strengths. I mean, for me, I've spent years in business, and I know that I'm not good at paperwork. I know that I'm not good at the admin side of business. And so I have an assistant who takes care of those things for me, and then I focus on going and selling and building the business. And it makes the business so much stronger, and it makes my sales so much higher because I've got someone else who's out there doing the admin side, and that's their strength. And so for Brian and me, Brian has been doing this for almost a decade, and in that entire time, he's done it himself this whole time.
A lot of it. Out of my house and my garage converted media room in Fort Worth, Texas, where I used to live. That was so faulty insulated or not insulated well enough that it was freezing cold in the winter and wickedly hot in the summer. Go ahead.
And so for Brian, for 10 years, he's done this all on his own. And so now he's starting to build this support team. And so he and I started to talk, 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, and said, well, what would it look like if you came on, Cole, and started to help me with some of these things that you're really strong at? And now that we're sitting here and we're making projections for 2016, and we're saying, well, what if we get a person who's really good at this, and what if we really start to build this team so that, Brian, you can focus on everything that you're good at: content creation, writing a book, speaking to people, doing what you love and what brings money into the company.
Yeah.
And you give all of these things that, you're good at, but it's not building up our company. You give that to us as a support staff. And what we're finding is when we're making these projections, we're going to reach more people. We're going to impact more people. And from a financial standpoint, in a business, we're going to make more money than we've ever made before as a business. And that's what you have to do in your own life too. If you have someone that you can have, go grocery shopping for you. I mean, I've ran an assistant business before. You have to focus on what's important in your 9 to 5 work day so that you can focus on what's really important in the 5 to 9. which is your family. And so that's what we're really discovering now with delegating things to myself and to support staff. It's making Brian's life so much easier, and it's making our company and our mission so much more impactful.
Yeah, so really by spending more money, if you can actually, in a lot of cases, you can make more money in the time you're not doing that thing you're not good at than it takes to pay the person who just knows how to do it already and does it right the first time and does it well. And in business, you can talk to any high-level senior executive, entrepreneur, any highly successful person, and they'll tell you what this is actually often referred to as your best and highest use. And whenever you hear that term, that phrase, your best and highest use, what that means is you need to ask yourself, whether it's in your business or your family or whatever it is, the situation, what is it in that scenario that only you can do? What is the job, or whatever you want to call it, the task, the job that only you can do, or that you can do the absolute best, better than anybody? And then you focus only on you doing that thing, and you get other people to do all the other things that need to happen to make that happen. Because when you spread yourself 10% effort in 10 different directions, you go nowhere. You're treading water and you're actually sinking. But when you're going 90 plus to 100% in one direction, and you're going in that direction, you're doing it full force, and you have 2 or 3 other people taking care of the necessary 2 or 3 other things, and they're going full force in those directions, everybody's floating and coming up, and not just staying afloat, but growing. So you want to think about, what is your best and highest use? I wish I'd have learned this sooner on. I should have. Heck, even years ago, I had the money to make it happen, but I didn't have it here. I didn't know how to make that work, and I actually didn't have the contacts either, like Cole. Now, I didn't have him at that time. We met 2 or 3 years ago, and here in the past 5 or 6 months, just now he's developed that relationship, that friendship, into the point where he's come on as a business partner. So I want you to think about, what is your best and highest use? What is it that you need to stop doing so you can do more and be a lot more effective in your life? What is it? Write it down. Answer that question. And you might look at 2 or 3 main areas of your life. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your home life as a mother or father. Whatever the case, look at 1 or 2 of the major important areas of your life and ask yourself, what is my one place within that scenario that is my best and highest use, that I need to stop focusing on 4 or 5 things, and I need to focus on being great at this one aspect in this situation.
And whatever that one thing is, add it in the comments below, and let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk about what your strength is and what your weaknesses are that we can delegate out to a team and make you more effective.
Yeah, because, you might give us an idea in a response that we could actually give you some sort of feedback you may not be thinking of. And that's just one of the perks of being a part of our programs and doing life with us, that we can give you some of these ideas that can help you live a better, less frustrating and more fulfilling and productive life.